نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدى هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, my teachers, my fathers, my mothers, my brothers and sisters in deen, I say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Permit me to make my presentation in English, at least in order to be able to carry everyone along. If not, I would have preferred to speak either Igala or Yoruba. But alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for uniting us. Alhamdulillah, as our father who did the opening prayer have rightly mentioned, yes, we are, that is Haji Ibrahim. May Allah put barakah into his life. Have earlier mentioned, yes, we are here to help our brother, conduct the marriage of his two daughters with our two brothers. And we pray that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will make it easy for us. And one thing in Islam is that when you talk about Islam, it is an organized deed. When you want to do anything, there is guideline. You don't do it the way you want. You do it the way Allah wants. And that is what will make Allah to put blessing into it. Because people marry doesn't mean they will have blessings. I usually say to people, no single soul on this earth have blessing to give you. I know it sounds strange to some of us, right? That is, no single soul on the surface of the earth have blessing to give you. They can only pray for God to bless you. Because the only person who have blessing is God. And that's why when you do something good to elders, they will say, may God what? Bless you. Yes, even if somebody used the term, I bless you or whatever, it's a question of his saying that he's praying for God to what? To bless you. And for God to bless anything, that thing must be according to what He wants. I want us to underline to get this. That is, for God to put blessing into anything, that thing must be according to His own wish, according to His own desire, according to His own plan. If you do things your own way, there will be no blessing inside. And that is the situation the world have found itself today. Yes, today we are crying up and down. We say the insecurity is what? Going up, Abi? There is problems here and there. The rate of poverty is what? Going up. Yes, it is not Buhari's fault. It's our fault. I know, like I said, it usually sounds strange to some of us. You can give somebody 1 million to start a business. You may come back to the person after 1 month, he will tell you, I don't have a penny. You know, you've given him the money, you've helped him. But yes, the success of that thing, apart from his own effort, it ultimately depends on the blessing God put inside. So if you give someone 1 million, doesn't mean when you come tomorrow he's going to have 2 million. Because if God didn't put blessing into it, he will finish all his effort and there will be nothing to show for it. And I usually tell people, if we look at our parents in the past, they are more godly than us. Our parents are more godly than us. And if we look at their own lives, it's more organized than our own. Our parents' marriages last longer than our own. That is, our parents' marriages last longer than our own. And we today have more certificates than them. We have more money than them. But the blessing in our own lives today is lesser than their own. The blessing in their life is lesser than their own. But today we have more money than them. We have more certificates than them. Older parents who did not go to school were able to produce professors. But today we have professors who are buying certificates for their children. I don't know whether it's making sense. That is, they are not educating their children. They are buying certificates for their children. When you buy a certificate, the knowledge is not there. It's the paper that is there. Parents of the past were buying the knowledge, were working on the knowledge. Because the children are the ones producing their result. But today it's parents that are buying the result. Yes, today we have political leaders who couldn't show results for the years most of them have spent in office. Yes, we have those who spent short period, up to today we are remembering them. And why I begin my talk from this angle is this. Yes, our brothers that we are uniting them today, and our sisters that we are here to unite them today, there are things I do say to my brothers and sisters. There are some things that if you want to succeed, think like the older generation, not like the present generation. When you talk about morality, when you talk about morals, the older generation are far, far better than us. So if you want to know how morally sound you are, compare your own behavior today and the behavior of your old parents. The closer your behavior is to their own, the better you are. And the further your behavior is from their own, the more bankrupt your behavior is. It's just like as a Muslim. Yes, you may claim to be a Muslim, but you cannot be more Muslim than the Sahabas. You cannot be more Muslim than the Prophet ﷺ. So if you want to know how upright your Islam is to check what you do now and compare it to what the Sahabas were doing. If your own is in conformity, if your own is in line with their own, that means you're on the right path. But the more your own Islam deviates from their own, that means the more out of the way you've gone. If we want our marriages to last, because most of we, the younger ones today, what we think makes marriages to last is just the love. I mean, I'm not saying love is not necessary in marriage. Love is needed in marriage. But love alone can keep marriage. Character can keep marriage more than love. There is one thing about love. You can love someone today and hate the person tomorrow. You can hate someone today and you love the person tomorrow. So it's something that can change. It's not stagnant. It can go up, it can go down. That is your love for something or your love for somebody. It can grow, it can depreciate. The person you love most today can turn to be your worst enemy tomorrow. And your worst enemy today can become your best friend tomorrow. So the man or the woman that you feel you can't do without her today, tomorrow you may be the person people are begging you to keep her. You will say, no, I cannot live with her. And the challenge with we, the youth of today, we think we are more enlightened. We think we are more educated than our parents. And it makes us to make a lot of mistakes. We make a lot of mistakes because we feel our own parents are old school. We understand our own time better than them. I used to tell younger ones, maybe even those within my own age, your parents understand your life, your time better than you, because you only know your own time. You get it? You only know your own time. Your parents know their own time and they know your own time. So they have two things to compare. They have their own time to compare with your own time. But you can only say they told you that while they were young, that's how they used to do the story. Their own, they will say, we did this while we were this. Like now, if as a child you think you have access to this phone, it maybe as my child, you have access to it, I have access to it. You have that phone, I have that phone. So the level you will use it depends on the level. You will use it depends on what you want to do, and the level I will use it depends on what you want to do. Take for instance, like your educational system. Any youth going to any university now, the curriculum he is going to use in the university are designed for him by the older generation. He is only going to design the one for the next generation. So my appeal to myself and to the rest of us here and our brother and sister that we are here to unite them today is that if they want God to bless this their marriage, then they must first of all understand that they have to first satisfy God. That is, they must submit themselves to God's teachings. They must understand that if they deviate from the path of God, they can never have peace in life. And that's why, like I said from the beginning, like today in our own country, we are not suffering because there's no money. The money is there. Allah has given us a lot of resources, that all that remains for us is to thank Him. We refuse to thank Him, and that's why we find ourselves in this state today. I was talking to some of my brothers yesterday and sisters in a khutbah yesterday. I said, for example, you feel that the elected officials, they owe you what? Some responsibilities, right? Because you voted them in. They owe you, isn't it? And they are not giving you what you expected from them. You too, God created you, and you owe Him, and you refuse to give Him His right. You refuse to give God His right, and you are bothered that your own fellow human being, because you voted Him in, He is not giving you your right. Didn't that teach you a lesson? That yes, it is what? Painful for one to become what? A betrayer. You are also disobeying God, and you are disturbed that your own fellow human being, you don't own the person. Like those in power, you don't own them. And like sometimes some of us don't even have right to some things. I will tell you what I mean by you don't have right to something. You may feel you voted them in. They owe you something, Abi. I say some of them, if they are bold, they will tell you they don't owe you anything because they bought your vote. You did not do them a favor. He bought the vote from you. And they say, he who pays the piper what? Dictates the tune. He paid for what you gave him. So what did he owe you again? He doesn't owe you. So if we want to have a society that is godly, like I was also telling my brothers and sisters, that let the government maintain even the state Nigeria is. If we Muslims are ready, we will change Nigeria. And do you know what I mean? Fasting is coming. You say it makes you to be God conscious. It is a shame for kidnapping to be done and the name of a Muslim appears on that list. You don't need government to stop you from kidnapping. You as a Muslim, you are supposed to stop kidnapping for the fear of your creator. Today you find names of some Muslims. When kidnapping is done, your name is on the list. And you say you are a Muslim. And you say government owe you. God say don't kidnap. You kidnap and government is dealing with you too. Robbery is not supposed to happen and a Muslim's name is on that list because you as a Muslim, some of those things your religion have prohibited you already. And like marriages, when there is crisis in marriage, we should be able to iron out some of our differences because the wife is supposed to submit to God, the husband is supposed to submit to God. So when you are going into your marriages, we go with expectations. And I want my brother and our sisters that we are here for them today to understand something. Your wife is not your slave. So you are not bringing someone into the house that the person have to do 100% what you want. Have that in mind. That's why I say we need to think as Muslims. We want God to bless us, we have to think as Muslims. So your wife is going to do in your house whatever you ask her to do as a husband, so long as you are not commanding her with what God doesn't want. When you command her with what God does not accept, she will respect you and she will say, but please, my husband, this is the command of God and we should obey God. That is the kind of marriages we want to have. We want to have marriages that you as a wife don't interpret love, because these days there is interpretation of love ladies have. Their own interpretation of love is that they have a husband that if they cough, he should know what they want and he must give them what they want. It's not so. Yes, you are going to marry a husband and your husband should give you what you want, so long as giving you what you want does not amount to disobeying God. If what you want would amount to disobeying God, he should tell you, oh my Lord, I'm sorry. I would have loved to give you what you want. But by giving you what you want, we are going to disobey what? Who? God. That's the kind of life we want. You know, it will make everybody to know his limits. Take for instance, sometimes a wife may demand for something. If the husband will give her, he is going to step into the right of his mother. So you see, by everybody knowing his limit, the mother knows her limit, the wife knows her limit, the husband knows his limit, the father-in-laws knows their limit. And you know, everybody knows his limit and everybody is giving the other his right. And there will be peace. There should be no competition between mother-in-law and wife. You are two different people. Mother-in-law is not wife. The day you become wife, that's the beginning of problem. Wife too cannot become mother. So you cannot stop your own husband from treating his mother the way God asked him as a husband to treat his mother. That's why I say everybody knows if we want blessing until we have this understanding. That is, yes, you are married to your husband. Your right ends where his own mother's right begins. When you are stepping into your husband's mother's right, you are looking for trouble. Your marriage may not last. And you as a mother-in-law, when you are stopping your own son from giving his wife the right God have given her, you must understand that you are creating problem for your son also. So we need to change the ways we do things. We need to change our thinking. We need to be sincere and we need to be God conscious in our dealings. We want to see Muslims, not those who claim to be Muslims by mouth, but not Muslims by lifestyle. Because if we have Muslims by practice, like today in Nigeria, Nigeria is supposed to be one of the best places to live in the world. But yes, today we have Nigeria controlled by Muslims but not Muslims by practice. We have Nigeria controlled by Christians, but not Christians by practice. Today we hate ourselves. We fight ourselves. We are here today to unite two people. One is from where? One is Igala, and one is what? Yoruba. And now maybe something comes and Yoruba is fighting another tribe, or this tribe is fighting Yoruba. Where will it lead us to? It won't lead us anywhere. I used to say to people, there's one thing we must know, the way the life is. Every tribe have two sets of people. Every tribe have good people, and every tribe have bad people. Every tribe have kidnappers, and every tribe have those who fight kidnappers. Every tribe have armed robbers, and every tribe have those who fight, robbery. Every tribe have God-conscious people, and every tribe have devilish people. So no tribe is 100% clean, and that is why there is no reason why we should fight on tribal basis. And two, we said we are all either Muslims or Christians. In the Quran, you are told that your first father was Adam. So that means every tribe originated from Adam. Then it looks senseless for a particular tribe to think they are better than the same person that they have the same blood flowing through. You come to the Bible, it tells you that the first man was who? Adam. And now you say, some of these tribes we talk about, sometimes you even the tribe you are fighting, you became that tribe by accident. Yeah. Because each and every one of us, after sitting down, you are going to begin to give history as to how your father came somewhere. So where he came from, why didn't he go back to claim that place? Why is he claiming the place he came to? You understand? Maybe you say your own father came from Kano, or this one came from Mecca, this one came from Medina. Okay, he came from Medina. That means his origin is where? Medina. So you should go back there. So why is he fighting for where he came from, forgetting where he came, where he came to, forgetting where he came from? Like as a God-conscious person, do you know where he fights for? A God-conscious person fights for where he comes from, not where he is now. Like now, a conscious person remembers something that inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From God we come, and to him is where? The return. So we are more conscious about our place of return more than where we are. If your own attention is in this world, you've wasted your life. Because you finish building a house and you will die and leave that house. You will finish gathering money. Some people will share it. Some will even kill you to take it. So you are wasting your time. The human problem today is that we waste our time on what is not actually ours. Like the world doesn't belong to anybody. God sent us in, and he will pack us all. That is it. He said in the verse of the Quran that we are going to take, we are going to come back to us, or will be returned to us the way we created at the initial stage. Everybody came empty-handed, and the day you will go empty-handed. That's how it will be. So today, my appeal to my brothers, my sisters, my fathers, my mother, that we are all gathered here today, we must know that this we want to do. First, don't look at it from worldly perspective. They must know that it is a responsibility that God is going to ask each and everyone tomorrow. And everybody should be ready to play that role. You as a husband, God is going to ask you as a husband. You as a wife, God is going to ask you as a wife. So ask yourself, treat your husband or treat your wife the way that when you stand before God, you are comfortable, you are confident. And if you want God to support you in what you do what pleases him. No matter who fights you, the person can never succeed. But when you go against God, you make yourself vulnerable. That's why, like you and your wife, you and your husband, when you are having a fight, one thing I usually advise everybody, make sure whatever you do as a wife or as a husband, do what God asks you to do. Definitely God will be behind the person who is on the right track. If he is the husband, God will support him. If he's the wife, God will support her. God is not going to support you because you are wife. God is not going to support you because you are husband. God is going to support the person that is what? Being oppressed. The Prophet says in the hadith that the prayer of the oppressed is granted, even if that person is not a Muslim. So there is one thing you must avoid in your life as a smart person. Pray for someone to cheat you than you cheating. Those are smart people. If you pray to cheat somebody, instead of somebody cheating you, you are a fool. Smart people prefer to be cheated than them being the ones cheating. But today, most of us think to be smart is to be the one what? Cheating. When somebody do someone 419, they will say, I'm what? I'm smart. Allah, I shall know. So, inshallah, and we will not, make barakallah fikum. So, even our leaders, no matter how devilish we think they are, we should pray for God to guide them. Good people doesn't wish people evil. Even evil people, they pray for God to guide them. And that is why when you look at the messengers of God, that's what made them successful. They were repairing people. They were saving people. They were molding evil people, changing people who are evil to good people. But in our own case, even the little good ones, we will damage them more. Just you and somebody moving on the road, your car touch yourself small. Somebody will say, Oni Sherire, Oni Dafui. He doesn't even know you. It's the cars that brush themselves. You see, from there he have prayed that your life will never be good. Oni Sherire, and it's in a. You see, so if he becomes devilish, as he damaged your car, he will damage the next one, damage the other one, because he's not thinking proper anymore. And also, as righteous people, issue of magic, juju, and other things, we should leave them. Yes, I'm not expecting with our brothers and sisters here, but we should leave them. They don't usually help people. Don't go and do anything to control your husband or control your wife. It has negative consequences. And that's why I say sometimes women may be condemning men, but some behaviors of men are actually women programming. It's the way you because you've gone and done something. Have you? You know, sometimes you hear somebody say, "What did for?" Have you? He will not think normal again, have you? Yes, so long as he's not thinking normal, he's not behaving normal, and you will be condemning him while it is a woman that turned him to who he is. I don't know whether I'm making sense. Because so just like you as a man too, you will not do the same. Control yourselves through love, through kindness, through good words. Not through evil way. Evil ways usually produce nothing except evil. Like in computer, we say there's what we say what? Garbage in, garbage out. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala guide us. So inshallah, may Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala bless them, give them means of taking care of themselves. We pray that inshallah their own union will be example to others. And we pray that inshallah as we all gather here happily, we will continue to gather for their sake happily like that too. Doors of blessings means they expected, means they never expected. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala open for them. Our, imams, our fathers, mothers who took their time to come and, witness this occasion. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala answer each and everyone's prayer. Whoever is troubling anybody, may Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala grant it, answer it for us and our country. May God, save us out of the situation we are in and make our country, inshallah, a place that others will wish to come and live in. And then our leaders, may God continue, guide them. The evil ones among them, we pray God bring them back to the path, and the good ones, may God strengthen them. And then our children, may God make them source of joy to us, not source of pain. And then our wives, may God make them source of joy to us, not source of pain. Our husbands, may God make them source of joy to us, not source of pain. Inshallah, this is where I will end my own role. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.